Hey guys, I just want to say a quick thank you if you are watching this video, and a big thank you to everyone who listens to the People Person podcast regularly. I appreciate the hell out of you guys. So if you aren't subscribed to this YouTube channel, go subscribe right now. If you're not subscribed to the podcast, go subscribe. Do all that, get that taken care of, and now watch the video, what you're here for. Okay, bye. All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to a special episode of the People Person podcast. Today is an interview that, for me, is about 2 years in the making. She is the savior of my 2019 Bachelor Fantasy League. She's someone who has put up with me periodically bothering her on social media, and she's handled it like a champ. So Kirpa from season 23 of The Bachelor is here. First thing I want to do is apologize if you're even aware of it, because I'm sure you get a bunch of random DMs and TikToks and tweets, but I do want to apologize. I promise you I'm a normal person, but just I wanted to get that out there. I apologize.
No, I love the little videos that you would make and put on TikTok. I thought it was hilarious.
That one TikTok was bad. I went back and watched it, and I was like, I can't believe I did that. I think that was quarantine thoughts. I think there was the quarantine getting to me. I was like, this could be funny. Didn't think you'd see it.
Never changed. It was wonderful.
And then I reread the first DM I ever sent you, and I was like, that was so bad. I can't believe you even agreed to do this, so thank you.
Of course. No problem.
So you're a little removed from actually being on the show, so I'm just kind of wondering, do you look back on that and like, that's kind of just a weird part of your life, or is it something that like actually had an impact on you?
No, it definitely had an impact. I'm glad I did it. I don't regret it. I met so many like amazing people from it. So it was a good experience overall, even though now there's like a whole bunch of weird shit going on with The Bachelor and I'm trying to now remove myself. Yeah. But no, it was good.
So are you tied to it in any like contract right now? Are you tied to ABC or the show or any way?
No. So it's about 2 years after the show ends and then you're free. Unless they like ask to renew your contract or you do like Bachelor in Paradise, stuff like that, then they tack on a few extra years, but no, I'm good.
So we can dig deep. We can sling it.
Yes.
Love to see it. I have to know, I went back this morning actually and rewatched some like the clips on YouTube. Was Colton as uncomfortable in person as I thought he was like watching the show?
Yes. Yes.
Really?
He was so nervous. I mean, we all were nervous, but yes, he was very awkward.
He felt like it was very robotic. It was like, okay, now I have to kiss her. Now I have to grab the rose. Now I have to say this and this. It was like, dude, just talk to her. Just have a conversation. So I don't know, like, do you think that was because I think everyone kind of felt like from the very beginning, like, it's going to be Cassie? Like, we kind of felt. Did you have that same feeling?
Yeah, I definitely had that feeling. A lot of the girls had the feeling that it was going to be her, but yeah, the robot thing was definitely something we always brought up to either like producers or even Colton. We were like, just be yourself. Like, we can tell you're just super like following a script or whatever he had in his mind. And we're just like, just chill out a little bit.
You brought it up to him?
Oh, yeah.
See, that's the stuff like
many girls did. We're just like, come on, like, just be yourself. We can tell you're like super on edge.
And so once you like decided or like found out like, all right, this is probably going to be Cassie, was your mindset like, I'm going to try to change his mind, or like, just hurry up, dude, like, let's move this along if it's already over?
At that point, when I had like a feeling that he wasn't even interested in me, I was just like, well, I'm going to hang with the girls then and just try and keep going as far as I can, I guess, and see like what happens. But I knew it wasn't going to be me. Yeah.
So then I guess kind of a weird question is like, did you want to win when you like going you didn't want to win?
No, after I knew he wasn't interested, okay. No, absolutely not.
So do you think if he just like randomly chose you like that last date, it just like he gave you the rose, would you be like, what?
Like, oh yeah. I would have been like, I don't think you're picking the right person. Like, you've shown no real interest in me.
Yeah, I try to give him the benefit of the doubt because like that's a really fucked up position to be in as the Bachelor. Yeah. I've compared it to like, I think being like the president. Anyone who wants to be the president, I think is a little messed up in the head. Like, you have to be a little bit of a psychopath to want to be the president of the United States. That's just a position you don't want to be. A normal person doesn't want to do that. I think the same goes with The Bachelor. Like, you got to be a little messed up to want to be The Bachelor, to date 30-something girls on national television. Like, I think you're a little crazy, so, like, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. It's a weird position, but he did seem very on edge the entire time. So, I don't know. I think it's just a trend of Bachelors recently, too. It's been the same way, so it is what it is, I guess.
I don't know. It's, like, gone downhill, I've heard. Like, no one's been really happy with the past couple seasons.
Mm-hmm. Do you watch the show?
Yeah. No? I stopped watching.
Really? That's interesting.
I used to watch in high school and a little bit into college, and then I kind of fell off and stopped watching. And then I watched Colton's season, obviously.
Yeah.
And then since then, I haven't watched.
So when you're watching it, like, in high school, you're like, maybe one day I'll be on this. Did you ever think in a million years?
No, never. I thought these people are insane.
And then you become that person.
And then I became the insane person.
And how does that happen? Did you, like, nominate it, or did you, like, reach out and be like, I want to try it?
So I was dating someone and they dumped me, and I was at my friend's house and I was like crying on their couch, and like jokingly they were like, you should just apply for The Bachelor. Like, what if you got on and he saw you on TV? And I was like, yeah, great idea.
Just a big fuck you to him.
Online. Yeah. No, I just went online and it took like 5 minutes, and I was like, okay, this is not ever going to happen. I'm not going to hear back. And then like 2 or 3 weeks later, I got an email asking me to come in.
And then like, the rest is history. Did you ever think of just, like, once it became real, like, just dropping out, be like, I don't know if I can do this?
I was nervous, definitely, but I was like, this is going to push me out of my comfort zone, so I might as well just go for it. Like, even if it's terrible, like, at least I can say I did it. Yeah.
I feel like that's a very normal, like, the thing with, like, when I was watching you on the show, it's like, you just seem like a normal person. Like, there's a lot of people you watch on the show where it's like, there's something going on there, just like not a normal human being. Like, you feel like you reacted normally to situations when some people just kind of lose their shit, create the drama. It's like you just like normal reacting to people, which I think people appreciated, and like people can relate to that because like most people are gonna be uncomfortable in that show. The people who are comfortable are like, there's something going on there. That's strange if you're comfortable in that situation. So I think that's nice.
Oh yeah, most of the show is just like, of course they didn't show it, but it's just me like sitting there like in disbelief that some of this shit was going on. I was like, what the hell? We're like how old and we're acting like this?
There are a lot of good shots from that season of just like face shots of people like, what is going on? Like as drama's happening. I think Hannah G had some great ones. Specifically when you and Cassie were talking or like arguing, whatever, and then Hannah's just there, just looking at both of you like, what is going on?
She's like, please get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah, seriously. Now, was that situation with Cassie as uncomfortable as they edited it to be? Or do you think it was like, it wasn't?
I think it lasted all of like 3 or 4 minutes, and then they just made it seem a lot worse than it was. It was just a conversation, and it really wasn't that bad. And then after, because we had like the 2-on-1 later that evening, and we were like fine. Like it was still awkward because it was just us sitting at the table and waiting for Colton, but it wasn't like we were like angry at each other or anything. We were just like, okay, well, whatever. Yeah,
they edited it like there was like 10 minutes of just complete silence between you two. It made it super uncomfortable, which, I mean, they're good at their job. They're like, that was good TV, but again, I'm sure it wasn't as bad actually in person because...
No, not at all.
Now, with Colton and Cassie, obviously, little messy breakup recently. When they left the show, were you like, all right, I could see this working out, or did you think like, all right, this is eventually heading downhill, this isn't going to work?
Well, since they didn't get engaged, I thought they had a good shot, because I think that was Cassie's whole thing. Like, I'm so young, we've met for like how long now? 2 months? I don't know if I can get engaged to you. So when they were just dating, I was like, okay, like they have a real shot because they're going to get to know each other, figure things out. And I was hoping it would work out for them.
Yeah. But it's interesting because, like, again, that was the whole thing is Cassie wasn't ready. She left. It was a whole debacle, but it is what it is, I guess. But have you seen either of them since the show?
I've run into Cassie, not recently, but, like, back before quarantine when there were events and stuff. We definitely ran into each other, and it was totally fine. Like, we said hi to each other. And, yeah, it was normal. I don't think I've seen Colton at all. and I don't know what he's up to. Is he still not on social media?
Honestly, I have no idea. I don't know. Like, I get my news from Twitter. I scroll through and just saw they break up, saw that whole drama. I was like, oh, okay. Kind of saw that one coming. Yeah, I wonder, like, do you think of Colton as, like, an ex? Because I feel like it's a weird, like, dynamic. No. Yeah, it's like just a whole different category, I think of.
Yeah, I don't even know what that would be. He's in his own separate category. I don't even know what that is.
Now, 2 moments on the show that I don't think got enough airtime. Number 1, your chin injury.
Oh God.
Let's walk through that. So I saw the clip in the bloopers where like you slipped on some rocks or whatever. Like, what was going on there?
I was just trying to get a photo because it was so beautiful. I was like, I've never been to Thailand before, and all the girls were doing it. So I was like, okay, I'll just go and get on a rock, and the ocean's behind me. It's gonna be great. No, it was not great. The rock was so slippery, and I just remember eating shit, hitting my chin, and thinking, oh God, I just hope I didn't break my teeth. Like, that's it. Like, I don't care if anything else is
That's a dentist
broken.
Mindset, right?
Yeah, just
protect
let my
the
teeth be okay.
And then, wait, so did you have, like, I'm always confused on how much you have your phone. Did you have your phone?
No, so we don't have our phones, but the producers have their phones, and they're able to, like, take pictures of us, and, like, after the show, they can send us them, but
I couldn't.
No picture from that incident because I just ate shit immediately.
So that'd be prime photos to have, I think. Immediately aftermath, yeah. Now, I couldn't function 2 days without my phone. I don't know how I would prepare if I ever was in a situation to go on a show like that. Like, I feel like I would just miss out on so much when you get your phone back. Like, was that just weird?
It was bizarre. Like, we didn't have music or movies or things like that, so you didn't know what was going on in the world. And, like, when we were able to listen to music and new music would come on, we were like, oh gosh, what's this? Like, what are we missing out there?
Was there anything big? I forget, like, when everything was filmed. Was there anything big that happened and, like, you just didn't know about?
No, I think everything was pretty quiet. From what I remember, I don't think I missed out on anything huge.
Okay. I feel like that'd be something the producers would be like, hey, like, by the way, when you go back in the real world, this is happening. Like,
yeah, I mean, if, like, the pandemic had started or something, I'm sure they would have told us.
That was, I think there was some, like, overseas reality dating show where they, like, broke the news of the pandemic to these people, like, live on air because they were filming the show in this bubble. They brought them back for, like, after the final roast, I think, and they're like, by the way, we're in a national global pandemic. And I was like, that's crazy.
That's got to be so bizarre. Like,
I couldn't imagine. Yeah. So, were you ever asked to go on Paradise, and would you have gone?
I was asked to go, but then in the end, they just didn't have me come out. So I think they asked, like, a bunch of people, and then whoever, like, fits with the guys that they ask or the girls, they, like, kind of plan accordingly and see how their, like, story is going to unfold. Yeah. And I don't think I fit into that.
So they just kind of kept you on deck and was like, hey, if we need you, we'll call you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Seems kind of shady. That kind of sucks. It's like...
it's fine.
Yeah. I mean, like, you got to prepare to, like, maybe go on the beach for a couple weeks, so then you're just sitting there waiting, maybe you get the call.
Yeah, I know. That was hard because, like, I have a job. I'm still working. So I was like, okay, well, I kind of need to know to tell my job, like, hey, I might be peacing out for, like, a month or two, so... Yeah. But it was fine. And
now when you leave the show... Is there some kind of, like, expectation of, like, all right, I'm a former Bachelor contestant. I have to kind of play the part. I have to post on Instagram. I got to promote this. I got to do this and this. Is there some kind of expectation?
There's not an expectation, but I think, like, most of us want to kind of do that stuff and, like, take advantage of all the opportunities that are coming our way right after the show ends. Mm-hmm. So most of us, you'll see, like, posting ads or, posting a ton of selfies or whatever. And then I think that kind of starts to slow down, at least for some of us. Some of the girls who have, like, a really good following, they'll keep it up. But, like, with me, I was like, okay, I'm just ready to kind of go back to normal life. Yeah,
you don't want to just ride that influencer wave and just keep going?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, that's a little much. That's a tough lifestyle to live. You got to be ready for it, I feel like. Now, when you leave the show, you get your phone back, and then that initial, like, first couple weeks... Like, do you just have a bunch of people hitting you up, bunch of dudes in your DMs, stuff like that? Or is it kind of quiet?
No, it was super quiet because no one knew that I was on the show still. They hadn't announced after filming that.
Oh, yeah, I guess because, filming, and it airs later.
I think we finished filming in, like, October, or they finished filming, like, the last people in November, and they didn't announce it until, like, December, I think, end of December, or right before the show aired in January.
Were you able to stay quiet on what happened after filming? Did you tell people?
I told, like, my mom and dad and, like, closest friends, but, I mean, there wasn't a whole lot to share. They kind of knew, like, going into it, what it was. Some of the things, like, shocked them, but, yeah, I was able to keep it pretty quiet.
But you're not able to, like, date or anything during that period, right? Or you have to be, like, careful about it, right?
If you do find someone, like, right after during that period, they prefer you not to, like, post about it because you're going on the show about dating someone, so they don't want it to, like, be spoiled that you didn't win.
Yeah, I feel like that's tough. It's like, all right, I have to wait until filming ends. I gotta play by their rules for it's like when you're back to real life, you're like, you just gotta live your life, but it's like you still are tied to it until filming ends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So now I want to proceed with the next couple questions. I need to ask you this first. Are you currently single before I go into... No.
No.
Okay, that's going to change what we're going with here. So This is a quick little game of would you jump a fence for this?
Okay.
For the person. So let's think. Number 1 on that list, your air fryer.
Yes, I would jump a fence.
I figured. Because, trust me, from following you on social media... I always thought, like, oh, I love food. Like, I'm a big foodie. I love food. I don't think I've met someone who loves food as much as you do until I started following you. It's impressive.
Yeah. It brings me joy. Food is like, oh, it's so wonderful.
Now, you cook most of this stuff?
Well, so Gabby, you've probably seen her in my stories. She used to go to culinary school, and I've known her since high school. We've been friends, and so she'll come over and help me because she knows how to do stuff better than I do, so we'll cook together. Mostly she does all the work, and I'm kind of filming it. That's
fair. Now, next up on the would you jump a fence for this, these are guys from Bachelor Nation, which I guess probably shouldn't answer or say no, given your current situation, but we can just kind of dive into, like, we had a little situation with, there's JPJ, so there was a little rumor out there, you guys were going back and forth on Instagram, being a little flirty. What was that about? Was that just jokes?
I literally only met him once, briefly, and it was just, like, very friendly, like, nothing flirty at all. He knows Matt really well. I think they were going to move in together, or they lived together shortly, but that's how I met him, and so, no, nothing going on there, nothing ever was.
And then what about Cam? ABC, always be Cam.
No, just super good friends. We went to Costa Rica together. I visited him with Alex and Matt in Austin, and just totally good friends.
Gotcha. Thanks for clearing that up. I'm sure you could be lying to me. That's totally fine, given your current situation.
Tell you.
Whatever. All right, fine. Have you ever met Dylan Barber or Hannah? Or I guess you know Hannah, but have you met Dylan?
Yeah. I met Dylan briefly at a Revolve thing when he was with Hannah, but it was just like oh, hey, nice to meet you kind of thing. But
all right, well, Dylan's my guy. Dylan's been on the podcast. He's my guy, and he said, kind of, I'm still working on it, that I could potentially get an invite to the wedding if that happens. So I'm working on it. He gave me like... I needed to get like 10 million likes on TikTok. Yeah. We got like maybe close to 1 million, so I'm hoping I can bump that up. We'll see. But the reason I asked that is this is now, again, hypothetical given your current situation. But if you somehow down the line end up with a former Bachelor contestant, a former member of Bachelor Nation, end up getting married, can I have an invite to the wedding?
Absolutely.
Yes, I'm going to need that in writing. I'm going to send you over a contract. You're going to write that down, just in case, hypothetically.
I will send you the form to sign.
I am now going to try to set you up with every guy I can get in contact with. I'm sorry. I apologize to your current boyfriend listening right now, but I'm going to make this happen because I want to go to a bachelor wedding so bad. It's like a dream of mine. I think it would be hilarious.
I'm sure Dylan will let you go.
That's what That's what I'm saying. But also, I've thought about it, and I'm like, I don't know if I'd even go because I'd be so uncomfortable because I wouldn't know anyone there. But just to get the invite would be really cool.
Just say you want the invite. Just tell him you won't even go. You just want that invite to hang on your fridge.
Exactly. I told him I don't need a +1. Just give me the piece of paper that says you're invited, and I'll put that on my fridge for the rest of my life and call it a day. I won't show up. Won't bother you. So all right. I'll get that in writing soon for the wedding invite. Thank you for that.
Perfect.
I saw you play tennis. I did a little research.
Yes. How did you find that?
This is gonna get creepy now. No, I just searched your name and then I clicked a link. I think it was like your bio for your job, and it was like hobbies.
Oh, okay.
I play tennis, cooking, and something else, and I was like, oh, tennis. So what's your history with that? You played in high school?
In high school, I did play tennis, and I broke my arm my senior year, and that's when my tennis dreams were crushed, and I just never pursued it any further.
That's tough. You don't play anymore? Or do you play?
I mean, I'll go and hit a ball back and forth, but I suck. I've lost all.
Were you good in high school?
I was okay. I had a doubles partner. I was never a singles player, but I mean, we were pretty good.
Okay. Well, another proposal for you is I play tennis in college right now. So if I'm ever out in LA, you're in LA, right?
Yeah.
If I'm ever out in LA, I'll hit you up. Let's play tennis. Let's play a match.
Okay. We can play tennis.
Again, need that in writing. Perfect. Sounds great. Another thing you said, I saw when researching you again, because it's been a while, you said you can tell when a guy doesn't floss.
Yes, you can.
How?
You can, their gums are puffy or they're really red and there's food stuck in their teeth.
Well, I feel like if you brush your teeth regularly, like a normal human being, you can't tell if they floss or not. I feel like flossing's crazy extra. I think that's just you. I don't think that's a normal thing that people notice.
Okay, maybe normal people can't tell, but because I look at teeth all day, I can totally tell.
Do you have any dentist horror stories where this was terrible?
Luckily not. Oh no, I had someone throw up on me. That was gross.
Were they just nervous, some kind of gag reflex or what?
It was a gag reflex, and they had just eaten, and they were older, and they just kind of threw up on themselves and on me, and I was just oh God.
That's a terrible situation. I don't know how that's terrible.
It was gross.
Now let's see. I talked about the food, talked about tennis, wedding invite, perfect. If you could go back and change one thing about the way the show was edited and way you were edited, what would you change?
I think I just would have shown more of my personality, because I think the most screen time I got was towards the end with Cassie, and that's not me on a daily basis. I hate confrontation. That was totally forced.
Yeah.
Not a conversation I would have had on my own. And I mean, the deleted scene that was on YouTube with the chin thing, that's more of me every day. Just clumsy, quirky.
And the ass to the face when you fell on Colton? When you fell on Colton from the boat?
Oh my God, I forgot about that. That was so awkward.
Sorry to bring that one up. Which one's worse? Which one's more embarrassing? The chin or the ass to the face?
I would rather fall on my chin every day than have that ass to face happen again. That was so awkward. I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Now, was that during the same trip? Was that Thailand?
No, that was Vietnam.
Okay. You guys went everywhere. That's crazy.
Yeah.
What was the coolest place?
I think Thailand was my favorite.
Okay. All right. And then do you travel much out, or was this show the first experience of traveling a lot?
No, I had never been to Asia, so that was my I've been to India, but no other Asian countries, so that was pretty cool to get to go to Singapore and Vietnam, because I don't think I would have chosen those places normally. And then right after the show ended, actually, or after I got kicked off, I went back to Thailand and Singapore, actually, 2 weeks later, and just did a whole trip, because I didn't get to really explore.
Yeah. And now, who all, obviously, you said, you spent a lot of time just hanging out with the girls. I know you roomed with Sydney, correct? Are you still rooming together, or did you move?
So we were in Hollywood, and when the pandemic hit, she was on tour, The Bachelor on Live, doing that. and that shut down. And then she ended up moving to Ohio, actually, with her boyfriend, who she met through Instagram.
There you go. Perfect. Now, are you close with Sydney still? Who else do you keep in touch with from the show?
I talk to Alex regularly. I see Matt, but he wasn't from my season, obviously. But you get connected with everyone. Elise and I are still close. I try and stay in touch with everyone. It's not a daily thing, but we like to just make sure everyone's okay.
Yeah. And now I asked this to Dylan when he came on. His answer was interesting. Do you guys have a group chat of all the girls from the show, or did you?
We did. I think it's still obviously on my phone somewhere, but no one really uses it anymore. We'll maybe occasionally send a link to something funny or just to check in, but it's not as active as it once was.
And then who was the person in there who was talking a lot initially, if you can remember? Who would be the one hey guys, what's up? How you doing?
Demi had a lot to say, I think, in the beginning.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Maybe Tracy, too.
Yeah.
But other than that, I can't remember who was most talkative. I kind of like just to read the messages because I didn't have a whole lot to say, but
and then
I think that.
Now, so Tayshia from your season ended up becoming the Bachelorette in a really weird way. First of all, did you see that one coming? And then second of all, do you think anyone else from your season would have made a really good Bachelorette? Oh, I guess Hannah was on your season too, right? Brown? Yeah, so I guess what? No, Hannah Brown was the other one. Gosh, I got them mixed up. So Tayshia became the Bachelorette, and then was anyone else in the season you think that would have been a good Bachelorette?
I thought Hannah G would have been good if she hadn't gone on Paradise and met Dylan. Because the same thing, they didn't really show a lot of her personality either, and she's so funny when you get
really
to know
funny.
Her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wish they would have shown more of that, or if they had her be the Bachelorette, shown more of her there. So yeah, she would have been good too. And
then you think Tayshia? You didn't see much of her season, right? You didn't see any of it.
I didn't see a whole lot, but I knew she always has this presence about her, and she's so charismatic and warm, and I knew she would be amazing as the Bachelorette.
All right, and then two more things I want to ask you. I want to say, if you were to give advice to someone, let's say a host of a podcast that you're on right now, if he one day wants to go on the Bachelorette, wants to be a contestant, what's his path? What's his way in? How can I make it?
Okay, well, how old are you?
I'm 21.
Okay, you're way too young right now.
I'm a little desperate.
No, you're too young. I say first go out, date, have a ton of life experiences, because if you do want to eventually go on the show, they want someone with a good background story. Something like mine was, I was previously engaged. And I think that's why I was even considered. If I didn't have that life experience, I don't know. I just would have been oh, another girl. She's just meh, boring. Yeah,
but Kirpa, you gotta realize we are in the middle of a pandemic right now. I can't do any of those things. I can't go out and get engaged. I'm stuck in my room.
I don't need to get engaged right now.
That would work though. That could work. That could be my in.
Keep that in the back of your mind.
I'll follow the Kirpa
path. Pull that
path
out later when you need it.
Okay.
No, I think finish school, focus on that, meet cool people, and then after you graduate, then maybe consider getting into that. Maybe at 25. That would be a good.
4 years.
I think you can live.
I'm ready to go now. I want to be on the show. I already have it planned out. If you're listening, Bachelor producers, don't listen to this because this is my plan. I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna be like the quirky fun guy, the JPJ type guy, where there's no way in hell he's winning. He just doesn't have it to win, but he's gonna be fun enough where we want to bring him back for Paradise. Then I come on Paradise, complete change of personality. I'm a sweet guy. I'm nice.
Wow.
Yeah, complete shift. People, I'm gonna be very volatile in the Bachelor Nation. They're not gonna know what to expect from me. And then on Paradise, I'm a sweet guy, charming, all that stuff, to the point where people start to throw in rumors hey, maybe he should be the Bachelor. Maybe he should be the Bachelor. And then I'll be slowly feeding into those rumors, and then I will leave them no choice but to make me the Bachelor. Boom, fall in love, get engaged, happily ever after. Life made. Done.
Amazing. And you won't even have to attend a bachelor wedding because you'll have your own.
I will be in the bachelor wedding. There you go. Exactly. But now my second path is I'm trying to do as many of these interviews as possible where all of Bachelor Nation just knows me, and then boom, I'm just like in there by default. Like they just have to put me in.
I mean, that works too, but I'm telling you, wait a few years because I think they're starting to trend towards older guys now. If you notice, like the new guys I think it's Katie is the most current one, and then they're going to do, is her name Michelle?
Michelle, yeah. They're both awesome, by the way. I know you didn't watch, they're amazing. I think they just released
Katie's guys, and they're a little bit older, so you should wait.
Okay, but they always need the young guy. Like the last season, they had Kit, who was 21, and I was like, that could be me.
I mean, that's true. They do throw in a few younger people to stir things up.
Mm-hmm. Because let's think about this. If I'm 26, 27 going on, then by the time I'm done with the show, let's say I don't win, that gives me like a 2 to 3 year window to be back on Paradise. If I'm 21, they could call me up at 25 and be like, hey, want to give it another shot? I have more time. I've thought this out. I've not applied. I'm too scared. I wasn't 21 before, so like I turned 21 in October, so I've only had a few months to really think about it. But
okay. I think wait for the pandemic to be over, where they start filming how they used to, so you can like go cool places and travel, and you're not stuck in one location.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that'll give you time to mentally prepare for applying. But I would wait.
Okay.
Maybe a few more seasons and then apply once the world is back to normal.
Okay, gotcha. I can wait a few years. I can do that. I'll do that. How can I prepare my Instagram feed to make it look Bachelor presentable?
Don't be like a weird guy that posts like model pics and stuff. Like just be yourself. Don't try and curate your feed. Just like totally be you. They like to see that. Got it. I can do that. All right. I'll work on that. Sounds great. Last question I want to ask you. So my company, Good Time, which this podcast is a part of, it's all about just kind of finding the positive aspects of life, specifically when it comes to like the internet, social media, because the place is a shit show. It's an absolute, it's terrible, but we're stuck with it. It's not going anywhere. So there's obviously not a lot of negativity out there. We're trying to combat that. So my final question to you is just what gets you up in the morning? What keeps you going every day? I think just all the connections I have with like family and friends, and even my patients. Even your dog. I'm dog sitting right now, so hi Roxy. Okay. Just like all those positive connections and people you meet, that's what gets me up. Like the internet, you can get so sucked into social media and it can like rule your life and make you so depressed if you let it. Like I've been trying not to be so much on my phone and just kind of be in the present moment and enjoying the people around me, because that's what we should be doing. That's how it was before, like social media. So yeah, exactly. I think people need to get off their phones and just enjoy life again. Get out in nature, all that stuff. That's great. Now that's exactly like what we're trying to do, because obviously a lot of people say that same thing. It's like it's so negative that I just want to avoid it all. But like there comes a point where you can't avoid it. So if we can create a little bit more of a positive space, just have fun, which is what it should be. Because obviously the internet, social media has so many good qualities where you can connect with people who you never in a million years would have been able to like 30 years ago. Yeah, exactly. I never would have been able to talk to you if social media, internet didn't exist. So there's good aspects of it. It's just finding them, I guess. So yeah, that's all I have. Thank you so much, Kirpa. Seriously, I really appreciate it. Thanks for doing it. I am going to hold you to that. I'm going to set you up with someone in Bachelor Nation. I'm sorry again to Mr. whoever you're talking to, but it's going to happen. I apologize in advance, but it's going to happen. Oh, yeah. He's not going to be happy, but... That's fine. I can create enemies. That's okay. I promise he could probably kick my ass. It is what it is, but I will die on that cross. Thanks again. I appreciate it. Look forward to our tennis match coming up soon. Oh, yeah. You're going to totally kick my ass. Looking forward to it. Thanks again. I appreciate it. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, dream girl, dreaming. I be dreaming. Missing all the days you got me feeling. I said I love you, baby. No, I mean it. Hey, yeah, dream girl. I be dreaming.